Standard 9, Subject Geography, Chapter 3, Exogenetic Process, Part 1. Dear children, we all know that landforms formed on the Earth's surface is as a result of internal movements are called primary and secondary landforms. For example, continent, mountains, plateaus, plains, etc. Because of the external process like weathering, erosion, transportation and deposition, the primary and secondary landforms give way to the tertiary landform. For example, valley, sand dunes, delta, U-shaped valleys, etc. Many landforms are formed due to the internal movement. Many processes occurring on the Earth's surface also lead to the formation or degradation of landforms continuously. So, in this lesson, we will be studying the exogenetic process. Exogenetic means external process and the landforms formed by them. External processes occur because of the forces working on the Earth's surface. They are mainly solar energy, gravitational force and kinetic energy associated with the moving object on the Earth's surface. See the given pictures. Observe the physical appearance of the rocks in each picture. You can see that rocks are broken, fractured and have holes in them. In a picture, you can also see that the statue has been deformed. This happened because breaking or weakening of rocks is a natural phenomena. It is called weathering. Weathering can be of three types: physical, chemical and biological. In arid climates, mechanical weathering is dominant, while in humid climates, chemical weathering is more effective. Biological weathering occurs because of living organisms. You will notice that just as we can remove each and every outer layer of the onion, similarly in nature rocks undergo such a process. This exposed part of the rock heats more while the inner part is comparatively cooler. As a result, the outer layer of the rocks fall apart from the main rocks. This is called exfoliation of the rock. Now see, mechanical weathering are mainly occurs because of the following reasons: temperature, frost, crystal growth, release of pressure, water. Temperature. The minerals in the rocks expand because of heat and contract when temperature decreases. Due to such continuous contracting and expanding, tension develops in the rock particles. Each mineral reacts differently to the temperature. Some minerals expand more while others do not expand as much. Consequently, the tension formed in the rocks also increases and decreases. As a result, cracks develop in the rocks and they break in areas where the diurnal range of temperature is higher. Weather of this type is common in the hot desert. Frost. You know that the volume of the water increases when it freezes. In areas where the temperature drops below 0 degrees Celsius for quite some time, the water accumulated in the cracks and crevices in the rocks freezes. Its volume increases. This leads to tension in the rocks and they shatter. Crystal growth. In rocky coasts, waves beat the sea cliff. The water is alkaline. Some water droplets hit the crack in the rocks. In this alkaline water, the soluble materials in the rocks get dissolved. This leads to formation of small holes in the rocks. This is the effect of solution. Alkaline water gets stored in these holes because of heat. This water turns into water vapor and only crystals of alkaline materials remains in the rocks. Crystals occupy more space. This causes tension in the rock. Holes are formed in the rocks. It looks like a honeycomb. Release of pressure. The outer layer of the rocks exert pressure on the inner or lower layers. When this pressure ceases to exist, the lower or inner layers get freed from the pressure. This also leads to weathering. Water. Some areas experience more rainfall than others. In such areas, soaking of rock water also causes weathering of some rocks like sandstone, conglomerate. These rocks are formed because of pressure on the agglomeration of sand particles. Mud also makes sand particles come together. When water penetrates such rocks, the particles get loose and separate from the main rocks. This is called granular weathering. Sometimes both temperature and water are responsible for weathering. Differences in temperature cause contraction and expansion, widening the joints or the cracks in the rocks. Water accumulate in such wide joints and big blocks of rocks separate from each other. This is called block disintegration. Chemical weathering will be continued in the next video. Thank you.